Brought to you by TempleTreasury.com, restoring the original biblical calendar of the House of Joseph. Overview. In parallel with the revival of the ancient Josephine, Paleo-Hebrew script, Temple Treasury proposes to re-implement the original scripture-anchored Hebrew calendar as practiced in the Northern Kingdom House of Joseph. This is not a replacement for the widely used Judean, fixed calculated calendar. It is a supplementary living restoration that honors scripture, land, and agricultural signs. Practically, that means recentering new months on observed new moons and intercalation, leap months on observed aviv, ripened barley, and seasonal indicators, conducted in the land of Israel, while maintaining warm interoperability with the Judean calendar used by many Jewish communities today. 1. Scriptural and historical foundations. 1.1 days, weeks, and new months. Day, evening, and morning. Gen 1:5. Sunset to sunset. Week, 7-day cycle culminating in Shabbat. Months, biblically lunar, beginning with the first visible new crescent. In antiquity, witnesses testified to the sighting. Signals and messengers spread the declaration. 1.2 Intercalation, leap month, by agricultural and celestial signs. Because 12 lunar months, approximately 354 days, lag the solar agricultural year, an extra month was added as needed, guided by agricultural signs, notably aviv barley, and seasonal timing so that Passover falls in the spring. This reflects a land-tethered spirituality. Festivals align with harvests and seasons. 1.32 New Year frames in Scripture. Ecclesiastical year, for festivals, begins in Nisan Aviv, first month. Civil agricultural accounting later associated with Tishrei. The Northern Kingdom House of Joseph historically emphasized the festival Nisan orientation, consistent with agricultural observance. 2. How the calendar evolved to the Judean fixed system. Between late Second Temple and early post-Temple centuries, the empirical system transitioned to a calculated rule-based calendar to serve a dispersed people. Molad, mean conjunction calculations, a fixed 19-year Metonic cycle with 7 leap years. Postponement, Dihiyot rules determining when Rosh Hashanah can occur. Standardized month lengths. Strengths, unity across the diaspora. Predictability for liturgy. Trade-off, reduced reliance on direct observation and land-based agriculture as immediate timekeepers. 3. Josephine restoration, what distinguishes it? We propose, alongside the Judean calendar, reviving the observational, land-linked calendar reflective of the House of Joseph. 1. New moon by observation. Months begin with first visible crescent observed in the land of Israel, confirmed by trained witnesses in a small Beit Din-style body. 2. Intercalation by aviv and season. If barley is not aviv near the end of the 12th month and/or spring has not arrived, per scriptural seasonality, we add Adar II. Designated barley fields, now available in the land specifically for aviv determination, become the primary agricultural indices. 3. Festival orientation. The ecclesiastical year, festival counting, begins in Nisan Aviv, ensuring Passover remains in spring as tied to the barley harvest. 4. Non-replacement coexistence. As with the Josephine Judean scripts, we do not seek to change or delegitimize the Judean fixed calendar. Communities using the Judean calendar remain fully welcome. We offer a supplementary scriptural track for House of Joseph identity and practice. 4. Salient points summarized. Biblical roots, observed new crescent starts the month. Intercalation guided by aviv barley and season so that Passover falls in spring. Historical shift. Post-Temple dispersion fostered a fixed, mathematically computed calendar, Molad, 19-year cycle, postponements. Josephine renewal, re-anchors timekeeping to land, agriculture, and sky, the House of Joseph embracing a living, observed calendar that complements the Judean fixed system. Practical enablers. Today, aviv barley plots in Israel are available to support accurate, transparent determinations. 5. Implementation blueprint. 5.1 Governance and witnesses. Establish a compact calendar council, halakhically literate, agriculturally literate. 2. Train regional observers for crescent sightings, oversee aviv barley inspections in designated plots, receive testimony with photos, azimuth, altitude readings, proclaim Rosh Chodesh and intercalation decisions. 5.2 Criteria and protocols. Crescent visibility, adopt clear thresholds, elongation, altitude, arc of light, and sunset proximity guidelines to avoid false positives. Aviv. Standard, barley, at a maturity stage that allows parched offering by wave sheaf, per scriptural pattern. Include backup plots across microclimates to mitigate anomalous weather. Fallback. If weather obscures the crescent, use testimony from adjacent locales and one-day delay norms historically attested. 5.3 Communication. Publish declarations within hours of sighting via TempleTreasury.com calendar page and email SMS list, a public API ICS feed, so communities can sync to phones or calendars. Mirrored announcements in Josephine and Judean scripts for inclusivity. 5.4 Interoperability with the Judean calendar. Provide a side-by-side chart each month. Josephine, observational dates. Judean, fixed dates. Offer pastoral guidance for mixed communities. For example, joint observance windows, shared hospitality, to keep unity. 5.5 Education and resources. Publish guides on how to cite the new crescent, aviv barley stages with photos, why the House of Joseph values the observed calendar, how both calendars can peaceably coexist. 6. Anticipated questions and our responses. Q. Does this divide communities? A. Our stance is non-replacement and hospitality. We honor the Judean calendar's role and offer a restoration pathway for those called to a land-observant practice. Q. What about global time zones and the international dateline? A. As historically discussed, days are local, sunset to sunset. The proclamation point is the land of Israel. Communities outside align to local sunset following the Israel Declaration. We will publish clear guidance to maintain consistency. Q. What if barley or skies are irregular? A. Multiple verification sites, cross-checks, and conservative thresholds preserve integrity. When uncertain, we follow the most scripturally safe path to keep Passover in spring. 7. Why this matters for the House of Joseph. It reconnects worship with creation, moon, harvest, seasons, deepening the covenantal rhythm. It recovers ancestral practice tied to the Northern Kingdom's orientation while maintaining fellowship with Judean practice. Together with the Josephine script revival, it embodies restoration, a people, a script, and a calendar living again. 8. Commitment and next steps. 1. Constitute the Calendar Council and finalize citing aviv protocols. 2. Formalize partnerships with designated barley fields in Israel. Publish plots and methodology. 3. Launch the announcement channels, site, mailing list, ICS feed. 4. Release an annual primer explaining both calendars with a dual-date wall chart for homes and assemblies. Conclusion. Restoring the House of Joseph involves more than memory. It is practice. By reviving a calendar grounded in Scripture, land and sky, we honor our forebears and bless our children. The Judean fixed calendar remains welcome among us. The Josephine restoration simply reopens the older door for those called to walk through it. Remember to hit the like button and become a subscriber.